families and all that is theirs, along with those who unite to establish synagogues for prayer, and those who enter them to pray, and those who give funds for heat and light, and wine for Kiddush and Havdalah, bread to the wayfarer and charity to the poor, and all who devotedly involve themselves in the needs of this community and the land of Israel. May the Holy One, praised be He, reward them. May He remove sickness from them, heal them, and forgive their sins. May He bless them by prospering all their worthy endeavors, as well as those of the entire people of Israel, and let us say, Amen. We rise for the prayer for our country, the middle of the page. Our God and God of our ancestors, we ask your blessings for our country, for its government, for its leader and advisors, for all who exercise just and rightful authority. Teach them insights of your Torah, that they may administer all affairs of state fairly, that peace and security, happiness and prosperity, justice and freedom may forever abide in our midst. Creator of all flesh, bless all the inhabitants of our country with your Spirit. Make citizens of all races and creeds forge a common bond in true harmony, to banish all hatred and bigotry, and safeguard the ideals and free institutions which are the pride and glory of our country. May this land under your providence be an influence for good throughout the world, uniting all people in peace and freedom, and helping them to fulfill the vision of your prophet. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they experience war anymore. And let us say, Amen. We remain standing as we join with the Chazan in the prayer for Medinat Yisrael, page 416.
Avinu, Avinu, Sheba Shamayim, Zu Yisrael v'Goalo. Avinu, Avinu, Sheba Shamayim, Zu Yisrael v'Goalo. Barech, Barech, et Medinat Yisrael, Reishis v'cha Gehulatenu, Hagein aleha behevrat chasdecha, Ufros aleha sukat shlomecha. Avinu, Avinu, Sheba Shamayim, Zu Yisrael v'Goalo. Avinu, Avinu, Sheba Shamayim, Zu Yisrael v'Goalo. Ushlach orcha v'amitecha l'rasheha sareha v'yoatzeha v'yoatzeha v'takne b'eitzah tova milfanecha v'takne b'eitzah tova milfanecha. Avinu, Avinu, Sheba Shamayim, Zu Yisrael v'Goalo. Avinu, Avinu, Sheba Shamayim, Zu Yisrael v'Goalo. Chazek, 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 Chazek et yedei meginei eretz kodshenu, v'hanchilei me'eloheinu, Yeshua, Yeshua, v'ateret nitzachon te'aterem. Chazek, Chazek, Chazek et yedei rasheha, Chazek et yedei sareha, v'ateret nitzachon te'aterem, te'aterem. V'natata shalom, shalom ba'aretz, v'simchat olam le'yosheveha. Avinu, Avinu, Sheba Shamayim, Zu Yisrael v'Goalo. ונאמר, ונאמר, Amen.
You may be seated. We'd like to call upon Misha's grandmother, Mary Kaplan, who will lead us in the prayer for peace, the responsive reading in the middle of page 417.
May we see the day when war and bloodshed cease, when a great peace will embrace the whole world.
Then nation will not threaten nation, and mankind will not again know war.
For all who live on earth shall realize we have not come into being to hate or destroy.
We have come into being to praise, to labor, and to love.
Compassionate God, bless the leaders of all nations with the power of compassion.
Fulfill the promise conveyed in Scripture.
I will bring peace to the land, and you shall lie down, and no one shall terrify you.
Shall not be ravaged by wars.
Let love and justice flow like a mighty stream.
Let peace fill the earth as waters fill the sea.
And let us say Amen.
Very good.
Thank you.
We rise now for the prayer for the new month, page 418.
יהי רצון מלפניך.
יהי רצון מלפניך. Amen.
יהי רצון מלפניך, אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו, שתחדש עלינו את החודש הבא, את החודש הבא בטובה ולברכה, ותיתן לנו חיים ארוכים, חיים של שלום, חיים של טובה, חיים של ברכה, חיים של פרנסה, שתחדש עלינו את החודש הבא, את החודש הבא לטובה ולברכה. אוי חיים, חיים של חילוץ עצמות, חיים שיש בהם יראת שמיים ויראת חטא, חיים שאין בהם בושה, בושה וכלימה, חיים של אושר וכבוד, חיים שתהי בנו אהבת תורה ויראת שמיים. חיים שתחדש עלינו את החודש הבא, את החודש הבא לטובה ולברכה, שימלאו משאלות ליבנו, שימלאו משאלות ליבנו לטובה, לטובה, לטובה. אמן. סלע.
הוא יגאל אותנו בחרו וחפץ
מי שעשה ניסים לאבותינו וגאל אותם מעבדות לחירות וגאל אותנו בקרוב יקבץ נידחנו מארבע כנפות הארץ. חברים, חברים, כל ישראל ונאמר אמן. ראש חודש שבט יהיה ביום השני הבא עלינו ועל כל ישראל לטובה.
ראש חודש שבט יהיה ביום השני הבא עלינו ועל כל ישראל לטובה.
יחדשהו הקדוש ברוך הוא עלינו ועל כל עמו בית ישראל לחיים ולשלום אמן. לששון ולשמחה אמן. לישועה ולנחמה ונאמר amen.
The new month of Shvat will begin this coming Monday. May it hold blessings for us and for all the people of Israel. May the Holy One bless the new month for us and for all his people, the house of Israel, with life and peace, joy and gladness, deliverance and consolation. And let us say, Amen. You may be seated. We'd like to call upon Misha's sisters, Leah and Ezzy, who will lead us, as they've done so well for many, many Shabbatot before this one, in the chanting of the Ashrei, the middle of page 420.
Ashrei Ashrei Veitecha, Od Halucha Selah.
Ashrei Ashrei Zachaloho, Ashrei Amshenu Nailoha.
Sheila LeDavid, Aron Mincha Elohai HaMelech, Ravacha Shiva Le'olam Va'ed.
V'chol Yom Arvachecha, V'alal Shimcha Le'olam Va'ed.
Gadol Adonai Mehulah Me'od, Ve'li Torah Chaker.
Dor LeDor Shabach Masecha, U'Gvuratecha Yagidu.
Hadar Kevod Hodecha, Ve'divrei Mitzvotecha Asicha.
Ve'zuz Noratecha Yom Heru, U'Gdulacha Asaprena.
Zecharachucha Yabiu, Ve'tzidkacha Yiranenu.
Chanun V'rachum Adonai, Erech HaChaim Udal Chaser.
Tov Adonai L'Kol, V'rachamav Al Kol Ma'asav.
Yodu Adonai Kol Ma'asecha, V'chasidecha Yivarchucha.
Kevod Melchutcha Yomeru, U'Gvuracha Yedaberu.
Le'odia L'bnei Adam Gvuratav, V'od Adar Malchuto.
Malchutcha Malchut Kol Amim, U'Memshatecha B'chol Dor V'Dor.
Adonai L'chol Noflim, Zokech L'chol Akrufim.
Einei Cholecha Yesaberu, Ve'atanatu Lahem Et Ochlan Be'ita.
Oteach et Yadecha, U'maskil Kol Chai Ratzon.
Sadik Adonai B'chol Drachav, V'chasidecha B'chol Ma'asav.
Baruch Adonai L'chol Korav, L'chol Asher Kra'u V'Yamed.
Ritzon Yiriyah Yaseh, Ve'ed Shabbatam Yisham Yashiyam.
Shomer Adonai Kol Ovaha, Ve'ev Kol Hashayim Yashmihi.
Teilat Adonai Yedaber Pi, V'varech Kol Basar Shem Kodsho Le'olam Va'ed.
V'anachnu Nevarech Yom, Yevtav Hallelujah. We rise as the Sefer Torah is now returned to the Ark. page 422.
Yehallelu et Shem Adonai, ki niskav shemo levado, odo al eretz v'shamayim, vayarem kerem le'amo, tila lechol chasidav, livnei Yisrael am kerovo. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Mizmor leDavid, Havul Adonai b'ne'elim. Havul Adonai kivod shuvo, ishtachavu l'Adonai behadrat kodesh. Kol Adonai hamayim el hakavod hirim, Adonai hamayim rabim. Kol Adonai ha'kola, Kol Adonai behadar. Vayar kidem kemo egel Levanon v'Sirion kemo ben reimim. Kol Adonai chotzev lavotesh. Yachil Adonai midbar kadesh. Kol Adonai yechot. Yechesof yarot uvehechalo kulo merkavod. Adonai lamavu yashav vayeshev Adonai melech leolam. Adonai hod ve'amo yiteh. Adonai yevarech et amo v'shalom. Uvnucho yomer Shemai v'votei Kitle kachto Natati lachem Torati atazovu Eitz kahimehi Lama chazikim ba V'tomcheha me'ushar Teracheha dalcheinu Bechol netivoteho shalom, Hashivenu Adonai elecha, v'nashuva. Hadesh, Hadesh, Hadesh Yameinu. Hadesh Yameinu kekedem.
Please be seated. This is the time of the year, the start of a new secular year, when everyone is looking ahead, everyone wants to be a prophet, everyone would like to have a crystal ball and be able to predict what's going to happen during this new year, what it will bring. And in its own way, that's right in line with the main point at the outset of the Torah portion of this week, the portion of Va'era, that word which means in Hebrew literally, I revealed. God tells Moses that he, God, now reveals himself in a new way to the people of Israel as their Redeemer. He's going to break their shackles and bring them to freedom during that year. He's letting them know what's going to happen. It's a prediction. And the events following that prediction come thick and fast. I imagine that this desire to predict the future is something that is universal. I grew up in a family where there was a favorite expression. When anything new or critical was happening in the life of the family, someone from my parents' generation or that of my grandparents would always say, it was a Yiddish phrase, but I'll say it in English, I would like to be 1 year older to know how it all worked out. And then they would try to predict how it was going to come out. As a matter of fact, Jewish tradition has a very long history of a special place in it for people who could, or at least they thought they could, lift that curtain and see what lies ahead. Jews were so sure that the Torah contains truth in it that the Torah could be used also to reveal the future. And there was a favorite method that was once very popular. For all I know, it might even still be practiced in some circles in Jewish life. It used to be the tradition in the world of the Cheder type schools and in the yeshivot of 1,500 years ago to 2,000 years ago, that the youngest children, the really youngest children, the 3- and 4-year-olds, were introduced to the study of Torah in a unique way. Every day they would be taught to memorize 1 or 2 sentences from the Torah. The Talmud tells us that when there was a time of crisis, adults would frequently stop children on the street and would say to them, Psok li psuka, tell me, what was the sentence, what was the verse that you learned today from the Torah? They were certain that a little child, because of his or her purity, reciting a verse from the Torah could actually supply them with a key. And if they interpreted that verse properly, they would be able to predict what would come. Now, this morning, although I'm not a little child, I'm going to venture into this world of the crystal ball mentality of this season of the year, and I'm going to venture 2 predictions about matters that are of very, very great concern to us as Jews. And I don't have a particular text from a single verse from the Torah, but rather from the entire Sidra of Va'era, which is about the struggle for freedom, an ancient freedom which keeps resonating and echoing in our ears and in our souls during this remarkable time when freedom has not only become a major concern throughout the world, but for us who have watched for years and years the struggle of Jews in the Soviet Union to gain their freedom, we've seen what's been happening the last couple of years. 2 years ago, if you remember, we were all predicting massive emigration of Soviet Jews to Israel. It was the time of perestroika, the gates were open, and for a while it was almost like a kind of magic being fulfilled in front of our eyes. Each month, the numbers of Jews exiting Russia kept growing and coming to Israel in increasing numbers. As many as 30,000 and even more a month were coming to Israel. And then, In 1991, this year that has just ended, the numbers began to diminish. Each month, there were fewer Jews coming out from Russia, arriving in Israel, something under 10,000 a month. Russia hadn't closed the doors. The exit visas weren't hard to obtain. What caused the slowdown? The problem is in Israel. Israel hasn't been able to create jobs fast enough for so many people. And Russian Jews who had arrived in Israel and who came up against that harsh reality that there weren't yet jobs for so many, began writing letters to their families and friends who were still in Russia, calling them by telephone and saying to them, wait, don't be in such a hurry yet to leave. Things aren't so good here either. Now I'm going to make this prediction for 1992. And if you like, there is even a verse in the slavery story in the Torah on which to base this prediction. Remember how Pharaoh ordered that the amount of straw that was given to the slaves in order to make bricks was to be reduced, but that the amount of bricks they had to make had to remain the same. No drop in the quota, just in the raw materials. And that was clearly impossible, and that was something that added to their misery. In Russia today, with its own miserable economic system, no matter how hard people are working, there is less and less with which to work, and there is less and less food. And here's the paradox that we are seeing. In Russia, there are jobs, but there's not enough food. In Israel, there is enough food. No one starves in Israel. No one goes hungry there. But there are not enough jobs. Russian Jews who have been waiting for things to improve in Israel now find themselves in Russia waiting in lines that grow longer and longer for less and less food that is more and more expensive. So I predict that they're going to do the sensible thing in 1992. They'll leave Russia in larger numbers. We're going to see the numbers go up again. My second prediction is based on the weather, and specifically on snow. Not the snow which we've had so little of this winter here, but the major snowstorm which fell like an avalanche throughout the Middle East during this past week. If you've read the newspaper accounts, if you've seen the television reports, you know that more snow fell than anyone can remember. 18 to 20 inches of snow fell on Jerusalem. I spoke to members of my family in Jerusalem yesterday and the day before. The city had just become totally paralyzed. It was impossible for people in the coastal areas of the country to come up to Jerusalem because it's a mountain road and the roads were closed. People didn't make their flights out of Israel who were scheduled to leave at the time that snowstorm arrived. Amman, the capital of Jordan, not so many miles away from Jerusalem, had up to 2 feet of snow, and that's a desert country. The snow is melting. My daughter in Jerusalem told me yesterday that the roads are open and things are coming back to normal. The snow is melting. And she said, you know, the sad thing is that so much of that water from the snowstorm won't do anybody any good because there's no place to store it. There just aren't enough reservoirs. And if that's true in Israel, imagine what it is in Jordan. The meteorologists during the snowstorms in Israel couldn't handle the volume of telephone calls. No one had seen that much snow. So everyone was calling, asking for weather predictions. How much more are we going to have? How long is it going to last? Finally, one of the exasperated weather forecasters appeared on TV early on Thursday morning, and he said, look, let me explain to you how to understand the weather. If you look up and you see droplets coming down and they're white, that's snow. If it's not white, that's rain. He had simply run out of predictions. He had never seen anything like it. He didn't know what to say. But I have a prediction. The last few years up to this winter have been years of miserable drought conditions in Israel and in the entire region, and particularly in Jordan. Jordan especially cannot produce enough food to feed its population. And that population has been swelled since less than a year ago in the aftermath of the Persian Gulf War. Hundreds of thousands of Palestinians who had good jobs in Kuwait were unceremoniously simply kicked out of Kuwait and sent back to Jordan. There isn't enough food in Jordan to feed that expanded population. Israel and Jordan are in a kind of lockstep. The longest continuous border of any Arab nation next to Israel, alongside Israel, is the one with Jordan. And both Jordan and Israel are dependent upon the snowfall that normally comes further north, up in the Hermon mountain range. If there's enough snow in the winter up there, the springtime melt brings water down into the Jordan River and into other suppliers of water. If there is not enough snowfall, if there is not enough rainfall, then it's back to drought conditions again. What Israel and Jordan both need for their survival is an agreement which will help them create a plan to share water, to build and to share reservoirs, to create a plan of cooperation that will assure life to their citizens. And all of this has a lot to do with the peace process that began in Madrid 2 months ago. You know, for years and years, the most bedeviling question about that area of the world is, how do you make peace in the Middle East? If you depend on love and respect one for another in the Middle East, it will never happen. It doesn't exist among the Arabs with respect to other Arabs, and it certainly doesn't exist mutually with respect to Arabs and Jews in the Middle East. So if we're going to wait for love and respect, it's never going to happen. But if the motive is need, then it could happen. That's why Sadat made peace with Israel. He was desperate. He couldn't feed his people. The population of Egypt was growing faster than they could grow food. And wars with Israel were becoming too expensive, and in Egyptian terms, a luxury that couldn't be afforded anymore. That's why he made peace with Israel. That's why Gorbachev completely changed the Soviet Union, because the economic system, which never worked well, wasn't working at all anymore. And that's how Jordan and Israel will make peace. That's how they're going to learn to cooperate. Not out of love, not out of mutual admiration, but out of the same needs. The snows that fell on the two capitals, in Jerusalem and in Amman, are melting rapidly, and most of that water goes to waste. It will do very little good. And Jordan will go back to being short of water and short of food and long on unrest and misery. And Israel will go back to not knowing if there will be enough water to feed a population which could expand by another 1 million when those Russian Jews finally begin to realize that it's better to have food in your stomach while waiting for a job in Israel than to starve, even if there is some kind of a job in Russia. The first of the 10 plagues which afflicted ancient Egypt began, as we all remember, with water. The Nile River turned to blood. And water can be a blessing, water can be a worry, and lack of water can be a curse. And that's what that situation is for both Israel and Jordan. So my prediction is that the need for water will make these two enemies work out an agreement. The Chinese have a saying which I always admired. It said, if you want to wish somebody you don't like misery, you wish for him to live in interesting times. To put it mildly, we are living in interesting times. Last year, in 1991, events were so interesting that I think the only way to describe what the world went through in 1991 was a kind of collective nervous breakdown. We can certainly predict that 1992 is also going to be an interesting time. Please God, not so interesting as 1991 was. But it can also be a worthwhile year if we all make ourselves part of making some of our predictions come true. So may we have a good year. Amen. Well, we've been having an interesting Shabbat morning, a wonderful Shabbat morning, and time has been just simply fleeting. It's been just so full, and also the added prayers for the new month have just been ticking away at our clock. It's a bit late for us to be starting Musaf as we normally do. We'll abbreviate it just a bit. We'll turn now to page 428 in the Sidur Sim Shalom, page 428, for the chanting of the Kaddish responses.
Yitkadash, Yitkadash, Shemei Rabbah, Yalmati v'rach hirute, Yamelich malchute, B'chayechon u'yomechon, V'chayecho Beit Yisrael, B'gala v'zman kavi v'himeru, Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabba Mevarach, Lehamam Lo Mehomaya, Yitbarach, V'yishtabach, V'yitpah, V'yitchomam, V'yitnaseh, V'yitadach, V'yitaleh, V'yitalal, Shmei Dekudesho, Liela, Min Kol Birchata, V'shirata, Tushbechata, Damiran be'alma, Amen.
We rise. We join with the Chazan in singing the opening portions of the Musaf Amidah, starting at the top of page 430.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avoteinu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Ha'el HaGadol, HaGibor, HaNorah, Elion, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei HaKol, V'zocher Chastei Havod, U'mei Goel Livnei Bneihem, L'man Shemo B'Ahava, Melech Ozer Moshiach U'Mageh. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Ata Gibor L'olam Adonai, Mechayei Meitim Ata Rav Hoshia, Bashiva Ruach U'morid HaGashem, Mechalkel Chaim B'chesed, Mechayei Meitim B'rachamim Rachim, Somech Noflim V'rofei Cholim, U'matir Asurim, U'mekayei Be'emunato, Nishenei Afar, מיכה מוכה בגבורות, ומידו מלך.
מלך ממיד
ומחיה, ומצליח ישועה. ונאמן אתה לחיות מתים, ברוך אתה אדוני. מחיי המתים.
מעריצך ונרגישך כסוס יסף וקודש המלכים והקודש והזה ועשה ואמר
נעריצך ונקדישך כסוסי יסף וקודש המקדישים שמך בקודש ככתוב היה נביאך וקרא אל זה ואמר קדוש 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 אדוני צבאות מלוך כל הארץ כבודו. כבודו מלא עולם משרתיו שואלים זה לזה שואלים זה לזה איה מקום כבודו ומתה ברוך יאמרו ברוך כבוד אדוני במקומו.
המים ביחד שמרים
ממקומו הוא ייפן ברחמים דיחונם המייחדים שמו ערב בבוקר בכל יום תמיד פעמיים באהבה שמה אומרים שמה ישראל אדוני אלוהינו אדוני אחד הוא אלוהינו אבינו מלכנו מושיענו והוא ישמיענו ברחמיו שנית ברחמיו שנית
לעיני כל חי
להיות לכם לאלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם ובדברי קודשך כתוב לאמור ימלוך אדוני לעולם אלוהי ציון לדור ודור הללויה לדור ודור נקי גודלך ונצח נצחים קדושתך נקדיש ושבחך אלוהים פילוים ושלום ועד כי אל מלך גדול וקדוש אתה ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
We continue the Musaf Amidah, starting on page 434, concluding on page 440, as a silent prayer.
Yikadav Yikadashem Rabba. Yamad Yivrach Yutev Yamich Bachutev. Chayechon Vimechon Chayrecho Beit Yisrael. Bagalav Izman Kariv Imeru. Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabba Mevarach. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpar v'tkuman v'yitnasei v'yitadar v'yitalei v'yitalal shmei d'kudesha Leila min kol bichata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechamata damiran b'yalma v'imeru Yitkabal tzoloton v'oton l'cho Yisrael kodam avuhon v'yishmaya v'imeru Yehei shlama rabba min shmaya v'chayim alein v'lcho Yisrael v'imeru Oseh shalom b'mroma v'uyaseh shalom Alein v'alko Yisrael v'himeru.
Amen. You may be seated. We'd like to call upon Misha to lead us in the singing of Ein Eloheinu along with her sisters and her cousins, of which I see she has dozens. Page 508.
Ready? Ready, guys? Ein Eloheinu, Ein Kadonenu, Ein Kemalkeinu, Ein Kemoshienu, Mi Eloheinu, Mi Kadonenu, Mi Kemalkeinu, Mi Kemoshienu. No del Eloheinu, no del Adonenu, no del Malkeinu, no del Moshienu. Baruch Eloheinu, Baruch Adonenu, Baruch Malkeinu, Baruch Moshienu. Atahu Eloheinu, Atahu Adonenu, Atahu Malkeinu, Atahu Moshienu, Atahu Shekiru, Avorotenu, Lefanecha et Torah
Hasamim. Page 510, we rise for the Aleinu.
Aleinu leshabeach ledavon hakol, lateju la'yotzer reshit, shelo asanu k'nei haratzon, v'lo asamanu k'mishkavot ha'adamah, shelo asam kalkeinu lahem, v'lo aleinu k'kol ha'olam, v'anachnu
You may be seated. During the past week, the following yard sites were observed by members of the congregation: those of Nathan Arsham, Esther Beck, Saul A. Bauer, Abel A. Dietz, Harry Dick, Hermine C. Edelman, Louis Ellman, Elsie Felder, Sophie Freeman, Major Richard L. Jering, Morris J. Gewurz, Albert Goss, Rose Goss, Henry Greenberger, Abraham Greenspan, Sandra L. Hertz, Bertha Kest, Helen W. Klein, Morris Kroc, Abe Q. Tash, Dr. M. J. Lazarick, Blanche Levitt, Saul Litt, Henry Maisner, Philip Mason, Ethel Meldon, A. Malecki, Diane Narson, Arthur Nair, Dr. J.B. Price, Ben Rosenbluth, Hilda Rothschild, Sam Schowell, Lee Schneider, Goldie Shachat, Edward Sherman, Louis Shore, Anna Coslow Solomon, Elias Spiro, Bernard J. Stark, Abraham G. Talisman, Fred Weiss, Mary Weiss. We also add the name of Mariam Plasko, who passed away during the past week, and extend condolences to her family on their loss. Mourners and those observing yard site may rise now for the Kaddish, page 512. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'alma divrach yirutei v'amlich machutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chaye dechol ve'Yisrael, ba'agala uvizman kariv v'yamru amen. Hei shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam olmei omaya, yiparach v'yishtabach v'yipa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shmei l'kudsha b'richu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiram b'yama v'yamru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yamru amen. Oseh shalom v'ramav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yamru amen.
Shabbat Shalom, a very warm welcome to all of our members, families, friends, especially warm welcome to all of you, and there are a lot of you who traveled more than 100 miles to be here today, and we could add a 0 and we'd still have a big group for those who traveled more than 1,000. It is wonderful to have you with us to participate and give our mazel tov to Misha on her mitzvah this morning. Also, mazel tov to her parents, Rosalind and Isaac YOMTOVIAN, sisters Izat Leah Ariella, and to grandparents Mary Kaplan, Esther, and Abraham YOMTOVIAN. As the rabbi has already observed, the YOMTOVIAN family, while being with this congregation for only a couple of years, has brought with it a very special addition to the congregation. We appreciate that, and Misha, you're in the line, and we expect and look to you to continue that. I refer you to the handout for news of upcoming events in the congregation. I do want to particularly call to your attention that the dedication of the new Talatot will take place next Saturday morning. So those who have not yet dedicated a new Talis or Talatot might want to take advantage of this opportunity early next week to honor or memorialize a loved one. Please call the congregation's office to do so. Also, a reminder to mail in your tickets for a chance in 1,000, a trip for 2 to Israel. We hope that the drawing can take place at our art auction on January 12th. We have to get all 1,000 tickets sold if we're to do that. Reservations for the art auction and for the Sisterhood Shabbat must also get into the office early next week. The art auction, as I said, is on the 12th. Sisterhood Shabbat is on the 17th. If you want to know more about the art auction, Linda Greenspan is here. She's one of the chairmen. She'll give you any and all information you may want to know. She may even have some forms for you. You can take them home and fill them out after Shabbos. Following the Kiddush blessings, would you allow those in the Bima to exit first and then join us in the gross atrium for a Kiddush, which is sponsored this morning by Mrs. Mary Kaplan in honor of her granddaughter's bat mitzvah. I'm going to ask that you leave your prayer books at your seats. I was given this very special yarmulke not to keep, but to return to its rightful owner. So if you'd see me after the service, I'll be most happy to return it. Have a wonderful Shabbos, Shabbat Shalom, and once more a very happy and healthy New Year to all of you.
We'd like to invite Misha and her sisters and cousins and her parents up to the bima at this time to help us in the singing of Adon Olam, page 514.
Adon Olam Asher Malach B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra V'et Nasa V'chefso Kol Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Ve'acharei Kichlot HaKol Levado Yimloch Nora Ve'hu Haya Ve'hu Hoved Ve'hu Yiyeh V'tzifara Ve'hu Echad Ve'en Sheni Lehamshil Lo Lehachmira Ve'li Reshit Ve'li Tachlit Ve'lo Ha'oz Ve'hamizrah Ve'hu Eli Ve'chai Go'ali Ve'tzur Chevli Ve'et Zara Ve'hu Nisi Umanosli Menakosi Ve'yom Ekra Ve'yado Hakiruchi Ve'ishan Ve'ayira Ve'imruchi Geviati Adonai Ve'lo.
Please rise for the Kiddush and Motzi blessing.
V'shamru, v'shamru, v'nei Yisrael, et ha-Shabbat, v'shamru, v'shamru, v'nei Yisrael, et ha-Shabbat, לעשות את השבת דורותם ברית עולם, לעשות את השבת דורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש.
Al Ken Barach Adonai, Yom HaShabbat V'Kdasheu, Sarim Ranan V'Rabatai, Baruch Atah Adonai, Eloheinu Melech HaOlam, Borei Peri HaGafen. Amen. Rishu Ranan V'Rabatai, Baruch Atah Adonai, Eloheinu Melech HaOlam, Hamotzi Lechem Min Haaretz.
Amen.
Our God and God of our ancestors, accept our Shabbat offering of rest. Cleanse our hearts, and we shall serve you faithfully. Lovingly and willingly, Lord our God, grant that we inherit your holy gift of Shabbat forever, so that your people Israel, who hallow your name, will always find rest on this day. Praised are you, Lord, who hallows the Shabbat. Amen.
Amen.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shalom, Shabbat, Shalom, Shabbat, Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat.